Right. I gotta take my socks off to count that high jump.
Welcome, everybody, to the show that never ends until it's over, of course. Welcome to Tarnation TV's YouTube channel. Thank you, everybody, for watching tonight's race of the I'm on Fire series. It is season number 2, and it is race number 2. And my name is Blaine, and I'm here with Brad. What's up, man?
Hey, buddy. Back into the broadcast booth for another exciting season. I can't wait to get this started and see what's going on. We got a pretty good field tonight.
Yeah,
almost
it's
30
another
drivers.
Yeah. Jeffrey always we always make a bet on how many people are going to show up. And he's always like, we probably have about 18 guys. I'm like, nah, there'll be 25. And currently there's like 27 connected. So I'm right again.
That's a good problem to have.
Yeah, it's cool, man. Like you always think it's good to lowball it, but there's always somebody here. It never fails. These guys currently, I'll pull up this points screen here right now after last week's race. Thanks again to Chris Aiken last week for covering in for Brad, because Brad had,
pressing business. I don't know. I was probably having a nap on the couch, but something came up.
You were making apple pies, eating the apple pies, and then going into a sugar coma.
Yeah, that was that too. It's been a while. I could go for some apple pie.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God. This is what happens on Tarnation TV. We start talking not so much about NASCAR, more about food.
It makes you hungry. Tune in.
It does. Tune in.
Get back with us.
Yeah, that's such as life. Looking at the points after race number 1, Chris Elliott wins last week, 205 points. Gee, that's nice. A weird number.
Oh, he got like every single point available.
Yeah, he stole some points from the guy in the back room. Well, so what happens this year as a reward for showing up? We'll look at the rules later. I do have a rules screen. They've added some different little points bonuses to as an incentive to come back and race as much as possible here on Thursday nights, because we are competing with some pretty massive leagues on a Thursday night, like Rolling Thunder being one of them. And they've usually got a pretty high driver count as well. So, you know, trying to get guys to come back every week. Okay, there is actually, I got to retire my car here in qualifying. There is actually like gift cards on the line too for the champion this race. I think this season it's $150 to the winner.
Oh, so this is nothing to sneeze at. So everybody's there's an extra incentive to show up.
Okay, buddy, yep. Plus, for a win, I can't remember exactly what it is. I do have a rule screen. Let me see if it'll come up without just seeing if I can get. I know I wrote it down somewhere, but you think I'd be able to find it? You'd be wrong. Hey, there it is.
No.
Okay, so
Talladega, someplace safe.
Yeah, Talladega Night League rules. So I guess we'll just read through these if you want. If you reach 4 incidents during the races, you just become a one-end park for the remaining races. So you will be able to race every single night. They were doing like if you had 2 incidents, you'd be parked for a race. They won't park you anymore, but you'll be on a one-end park. So if you go into a race and you cause 2 accidents, you're asked to pit and retire. What a one-end park would mean is you've caused those 4 events. And then every other race after that, if you cause 1, you'll be asked to leave after 1. So the one-in park rule is in effect. You won't be banned from any races. If you have 4 incidents and you cause more wrecks, you will be told to park your car for the remainder of the race. Points tracking will stop. Of course, it's an 11-race series. Only 1 provisional this season. Last place points. Of course, you got to let the admins know before the race starts to get those points. The top 12 drivers in the points after race number 8 make the chase and advance into the playoffs. The top 3 in points after race 8 will get extra points for that will be well deserved for an outstanding regular season. So if you can get top 3 going into the playoffs, you'll get bonus points. First place gets an extra 75, second place gets an extra 50, third place gets an extra 25 added to their total before the playoffs start. Of course, we're taking 8 guys into the playoffs in round 1, and then that will trim down to 4 going into the final stages. So, is that right?
So a little bit of tighter playoffs.
Mm-hmm. And then after each race, there's like 5 bonus, an extra. I think the leaders get like 20, and then second place gets like 15, and third place gets 10. So the top 3 in every race get those bonus points. That is why we had Chris sitting at 205 because he won the race. So everybody gets those bonus points. So if you show up and you can get some wins, and the bonus points don't just happen once. Like if you win, you'll get those bonus points every time. So.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Some good stuff.
Incentive to show up. Incentive to race a little harder. I'm curious to see how this is going to affect the racing this season. To see one big ticket prize in the line too. This will be interesting to see how it plays out. If that's going to be like, I think that. I don't know. I'm thinking that would be a pretty big draw. Like to make sure that you are free for Thursday night. Like when you actually put some stakes on it, and I think you're going to see. Not that everyone wasn't racing super tight before, but I think you're going to see it like tighten up a lot. But maybe not. Maybe it's going to be a bit more aggressive too. Everybody wants the shot at that. So
There could be, yeah, because I know what happened in the King of Kings race. Ken Roberts runs the King of Kings event, where it's that multiple sprints down, like it's like heat racing, but we're using Talladega instead of a 0.3 mile long dirt track. They're using Talladega. That race had a pot, I believe it was $50 to the winner, and the winner just donated the money straight to the league. So these guys are so badass, they don't even want the money.
That's fair, but I'm just telling you right now, if I ever win it, I'm keeping it. I'm straight. I'm not. No, I was just, sorry.
No,
Thanks for the cash.
Keep it.
I'm going to Cuba and I'm going to retire and live like a king. $150.
I would donate it to myself. Oh, we got Jeffrey Elliott calling me here on the whisper.
You go ahead.
Hey, Jeff, go ahead.
We are ready when you are.
Let's do it. All right, we're doing some driver interviews. I'll see you in a bit. Some intros on the starting grid. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, everybody, of course, to another live event here, race number 2. And thanks, everybody, for showing up. So I'm going to hand the microphone over to Chris Elliott, and we'll get these driver introductions started for this evening.
Thank you there, Mr. Donlin. Appreciate it. And welcome all the drivers. We're going to do our drivers' introductions, starting with the pole setter.
Nate Balser, number 079, starting inside of row 1 from Seattle, Washington. Good luck, all.
Starting second, Greg Lowell from Big Stone Gap, Virginia, driving the number 088 Big Stone Gap Racing Chevrolet, painted by Frank Divins. Good luck, guys, and thanks all to you admins for all you do. Thank you, Jeff, especially because you do a lot, buddy. We appreciate it.
Starting third in 41 Dodge, racing for Big Stone Gap Racing. Good luck, everybody.
Driving the number 63 Keith Bynum from Austell, Georgia, driving the Chevrolet Monte Carlo. And I just want to say thank you to all the veterans and all the men that are across seas fighting and protecting our country right now. May we all, when you get a chance, say a prayer for them guys on them ships and in them airplanes and on them boats and being ground forces, because they need it.
Starting P5 to number 56, Team Doritos, Mercedes-Benz out of Mooresville, North Carolina. I want to thank y'all for coming out tonight. And yes, just think about all them soldiers and everybody that's involved in the military for what they do for us to give us this freedom to do what we love to do. Thanks, guys.
Dan Lovell driving the 388 from Big Stone Gap, Virginia, driving for the Big Stone Gap Racing team. Just want to give a shout out to everybody that puts this together. Thanks for the broadcast. Thanks, Jeff, for what you do, like Greg said. Give a shout out to my wife, Bonnie, and my kids and grandkids, everybody watching. Good luck to all you drivers out there, and thank you.
Robert Breedlove driving the 931, starting 7th for Team Doritos, Mercedes-Benz, out of Lancaster, South Carolina. And just want to give a big shout out to Jeffrey. I know he's not feeling good tonight. Hang in there, buddy.
Starting 8th, Randy Wall from Huntsville, Alabama, driving number 21 Crimson Tide Dodge, driving for the Big Stone Gap Racing team. A shout out to my sons Christian, Corey, my grandsons Adrian, Asher, and Asa.
Starting 9th, number 043, Brian Lovell from Big Stone Gap, Virginia, racing for Big Stone Gap Racing and Wolfpack Racing. I'd like to thank Frank Divins for the paint, the admins here at Tally Nights, the guys at Tarnation TV, and especially Jeff Elliott. Man, we appreciate you. Everything you do, every second that you put towards this game and the community, we appreciate it, buddy.
Starting in 10th, Mike Mangialardi driving the 029 Ford Mustang out of Federal Way, Washington. Shout out to my friends watching at the Rainier Room. And good luck, everybody.
On the inside, row 11, in the 11th spot, the number 12, Team Doritos, purple Mercedes-Benz by Gary Slingshot Mingus from Tallahassee, Florida. I'd like to give a shout out to all of my brothers in arms and veterans. Have a good, safe Veterans Day, and prayers for the guys overseas that are doing the dirty. And that's from Tallahassee, Florida, with all my heart.
Starting 12th from Waco, Texas is the 99 of Josh Mercurio, driving the Toyota Camry. Thanks to you for painting this car for me.
Starting 13th, Stephen Brandstetter from Randolph, Oklahoma, driving the 510 Mercedes-Benz Team Doritos car. Thank you, guys.
Starting 14th, Javier Negron from Bridgeport, Connecticut, driving the 4 Toyota Camry car for Team Wrecking Ball. Good luck, guys.
Starting 15th, Jeff Pastor driving the number 33 SNHU Ford Mustang. Hopefully I keep it on all fours and finish first.
Starting 16th, Garland Oak from Martinsville, Virginia, driving the number 67 Gold Peak T Toyota Camry for Team Wrecking Ball. I'd like to give a shout out to all the veterans this weekend. Hope that everybody stays safe, especially the guys that are active and the guys that are away from my job that are active duty also.
Starting 17th, number 80 Dodge, driving for Big Stone Gap Racing. I'm going to give a shout out to everyone in here and all the veterans. Good luck, guys.
Starting 18th is Chris Elliott out of Mooresville, driving the number 9 Nacho Cheese Team Doritos car. Just want to say a shout out to all the veterans again as well, and all the drivers. Thanks for showing up, and all the admins and Blaine, and shout out to my wife and kids. And let's have a good race, put on a good show.
Starting 19th and number 24 is Graham McDonald from Sarnia, Ontario.
Starting 20th, Larry D. out of Georgetown, Mass., driving the 188 Ford Mustang. A shout out to all my brother Vietnam era veterans.
Starting in 21st, Ulysses D. Papi Sandoval driving the 96 Sprite, driving for Team Wrecking Ball. Good luck, everyone.
Starting 22nd, number 0, Alex Ortiz, driving the Coke car for Team Wrecking Ball. Good luck.
Starting 23rd, Chris Van Vliet from Annapolis, Maryland, driving the number 10 Team's Doritos Mercedes-Benz car. I want to say thank you to Jeffrey Elliott for all that he does for all of us, and to all the great admins here at Talladega Nights. Thank you to all of our veterans, and good luck to everyone tonight.
Starting 24th, the 091 Sean Dotson from Fenton, Michigan. I wanted to give a shout out and thanks to the Elliots of Talladega Nights, Jeffrey and Chris, and to Tarnation TV, Brad and Blaine, for all everybody does here. Everyone, good luck.
Driver of the number 01, starting P25, Joseph Hayes from Reddick, Florida, and dedicating this paint scheme tonight for the U.S. Army, and driver of the Chevy Camaro. Dedication to all the veterans and to my girlfriend's grandfather or grandpa tonight, and dedicating to them. And let's get ready.
And starting in 27th, and that would be Mr. Perry Bond driving the 060. I believe it's a Mountain Dew ride, so good luck there, Perry Bond. There you go, Blaine.
Thanks, guys, as always, for showing up tonight. And like everybody was saying, too, we've got I guess it will be Veterans Day and Remembrance Day. Do you guys, is it Veterans Day or Memorial Day?
Veterans
Day.
Veterans.
Okay, because up here it's Remembrance Day, and I can never remember which one it is. So anyway, at the end of the day, the veterans I know a few, and I'm sure everybody does. So yeah, we always love what they do. But yeah, tonight, let's do some racing. And it's going to be a lot of fun as always. I'll give it back to Chris. Everybody have a good night tonight, and we'll see you all next Thursday for race number 3.
Thanks, Blaine.
Thank you, Blaine.
All right. Thanks, Blaine. All right, guys, we're going by the clock. It's 5 minutes and 40.
And we are back in the room.
Yes,
we've got
What?
Remembrance Day on the weekend.
Everybody's-
All the guys were reminding me there that the Veterans Memorial Day and Remembrance Day is finally on a Saturday, so I finally get to go every couple of years. We can actually make it to the gig.
That's right. Yeah, back in Ontario, they don't have that as a day off, which is an odd one. I thought that one would be a federally recognized day across the board, but it's not.
It's not
because Ontario hates veterans, is what I understand.
I don't know, man. It's so weird because you guys do get Monday off.
Yeah, we get. It's been since I've been a kid. Remembrance Day in Canada. Remembrance Day is what they call it, November 11th.
Right.
And we've had that off forever. And it wasn't. I don't know. I mean, at some point, since you moved back, I'm sure we discussed it. We're like, hey, what's happened? And like, oh, yes, you don't have this day off. And I know at some point I learned it, but growing up, I just assumed that everybody had it. I guess I thought it was just like a national, federally regulated holiday, but.
No, and I forgot that in British Columbia they actually do the long weekend thing, but yeah, they never did it in Ontario. And I usually, if you're working, wherever you are when it's 11 o'clock, you take your moment of silence, and sometimes, a couple times it happened. I walked into a place with a delivery, and I'm like, "Hey guys, how you doing today? Got one here for you," and I'm like, I'm getting ghosted, and then I go, oh. I walked right in the 11th, right in on the 11th hour, and totally just lost track of time. And I'm like, are you serious? So yeah, it sucks because if it's on a Wednesday, you're going to work on a Wednesday and you try to get that 11th hour. And there's a couple times I messed it up and burst through the door, but usually remember to kind of park it, and I know a bunch of people that are in the military and have been in the military, and our friend Rob Anderson, there was the 100th year of Vimy Ridge there like a few years back.
Yep.
And he was like the main dude that like led the parade or whatever they do, like all their little segments and stuff.
Oh,
and that was super cool to see Robbie and his and they got that different gear. Like they don't, when they go into the parades and stuff, they got their parade gear.
Yeah, the dress, whatever I don't know what it's called, but I know what you're saying, yes.
But he was like the lead guy, so he had more stuff. And that was like, I'm like, look at this handsome son bitch, what I mean? He's just right. And his wife's like, yeah, isn't he? I'm like, yeah, I know. Calm down, Caitlin. Gosh.
Oh, Kate. Take it easy.
Come on, Caitlin.
Getting all excited here. My goodness.
But it was neat, right? I'm like, geez, I know the guy who's like front row. They do that, like, the what do they call it? The Unknown Soldier up in Ottawa, the nation's capital. The Tomb of the Unknown Soldier.
Yeah, it's been a while. So I think when we last went to one, either work or something get in the way. Well, not work. We would never work on the day, but didn't get to it. I did visit the Legion occasionally and grab a few beers. So I like to support the troops however I can.
Yeah, if you do the Legion, remember, take your gosh darn hat off. Don't be that guy.
Oh yeah, no. They won't hesitate in letting you know at the door.
No, they won't. You'll get leaned on pretty quick if you forget to take your cap off. But I saw a cool thing. Shelley posted it too. It was like, thank you to the veterans. What was it like on? Boots on the ground, wings in the air, hooves in the mud or something. Like it had a whole thing because there's animals that do it too, right? They got rats that find landmines, horses over the years. They always use animals too. So lots of
horses, dogs, stuff.
Lives being given all over the place during times of war, which is,
sharks with lasers on their heads. Like there's all sorts of stuff that's going on. You don't even know.
That's what we need. Just run the whole thing by drones. Like it's weird how it's all like escalated. When you watch these movies or documentaries on like World War I, where they're like in the trench warfare and stuff, to now they've got these drones that can hit a quarter on the ground, 100 miles away. It's insane. And think about the
stuff we know about.
Yeah, exactly. And think about like the time frame that we've been on the planet. even just in the last 100 years, how far technology's come. The Earth's been here millions, and it's this is what we're doing, trying to destroy each other as fast as possible.
Hey, I want to live there. No, eat shit. I want to live there.
Right.
Okay, let's fight about it.
Right.
Like you travel over like 2 miles. It's a pretty good spot.
Right.
Hey,
and it is the thing is
problems here, but
it's like
fucking. You look at. Sorry, pardon me. That was my one for the whole episode.
Yeah.
You look at the expanse across Canada and how many areas in between. There's like 5 to 10 hours between cities. Like there's a good chunk of land in Saskatchewan that we could get a bunch of people.
Just go. Yeah, it's like war sucks, but we need it. And because of that, we're able to do this on a Thursday night. Sit down and watch a NASCAR race. It's wild.
Something else to think about for a couple hours.
Yeah, but thanks to the veterans, of course. Hats off to everybody involved.
Absolutely,
is willing to do that. That's something I don't think I could ever do. It's just But speaking of that, we're waiting for the race to start right now. Looks like we're within the last 20 seconds or so before we go green, race number 2. And check out the qualifying results, man. Every single car, all the top 22 cars that actually ran a lap in qualifying, all 52 seconds. From 52.4 to 52.7. 22 cars within a half second of each other. So got some good competition. As always this evening, we'll roll up the season stats again. Of course, those top 12 cars in green highlight. That would be the cutoff line for the playoffs. We're not there yet. We have to do 8 of these before we figure that out. And of course, anything in yellow, as you see that 205 beside Chris Elliott's name in column number 1, he won race number 1. Therefore, it's highlighted in yellow. Highly sophisticated is what we like to call this program.
It is. When you compare it to others, I mean, sometimes it stumbles and you got to crawl before you can run. But man, all the work I put into this, it sure shows.
Right.
Thanks for all your nothing. It's too much. I did that the other day. I was trying to order some toner for the printer at work, and nobody could tell me how to order it because nobody knew what department handled it, and the one that used to, they no longer did it. Anyways, eventually, the short story is some toner showed up, and I didn't order it. But I went to the front, and I told the ladies up front, I'm like, hey, the toner arrived. And I'm like, oh, thanks so much. And I'm like, don't mention it. It was nothing. And that was the truest word I'd ever spoken.
Literally was nothing.
It couldn't have been easier.
Right.
I'm happy to not do it again.
You're happy to not do it again and totally get 100% credit for it.
That's exactly. Oh, it's amazing. How'd you figure it out? I'm like, no. That's a secret. Secret is it just shows up.
Yeah, exactly. You speak about it, and I'll take care of it. Promise. So watch the cars roll off.
Kind of automated order distribution. They go after every so many months. They ship another one out, but. I was going to say, looking at the lists there before, we have a few new names. Well, I'm assuming they're probably not new to the. Well, I shouldn't assume that, but I'm assuming that there's somebody knows them or they used to race before here with someone else, and then they haven't been back in a couple seasons. But there's some names that I don't recognize. This is more what I would say on the list.
We've got Van Vliet. He's out there. He's a new one for season 2. We've got another Lovell on here, Eric Lovell, which I think is the son of Greg. If you are going to interact with the channel, by the way, with the broadcast, our YouTube feed is the best way because we can actually see that chat. I kind of ignore the Facebook one. I believe we had confirmation last week that Eric Lovell is the son of Greg. So that's just sons, cousins, brothers, neighbors, everybody down there, Big Stone Gap Racing. It's high amount of talent down there. And who's the other one? Yeah, we had Alex Ortiz is out there. Perry Bond is definitely not new to the game, but he has come out the last couple of weeks in the 060. He's a veteran of the NASCAR Racing 2003 season. Who else we got? I believe that might be about it. Oh, Joseph Hayes. Where's the number 1? Nowhere. Where's the number 01? There it is. There's the 0. And we're wrecking. We are wrecking. This is how we do it here. The Tarnation TV curse shows we go looking for Joseph Gator Hayes, and he's on his roof. Yeah. So that's how that works. The pace car is off, and we're about ready to go green. Nate Balser, a pole sitter this evening with a whopping time of I can't remember. Leads. Well, he doesn't lead the lap. He has to go around once to lead the lap. So we'll see if he's going to lead the lap. But Nate leads the field to the green flag. Nate's time.
Put a cap on how many levels they're going to let into the racing series. Eventually, we're going to have a separate series for the family. It'll be like a family race.
It'll just be the level of the series. Just be illegal levels.
We got the whole game here.
Yeah. So Nate is in that 79, that orange machine. Looking to lead lap number 1. His qualifying time was 52.455 seconds, with Greg level behind him at 52.457. So it's literally like 1,000th of a second, or 1/100th of a second. Doesn't matter. It's close. There it is. Lap number 1, led by 79 of Nate Balser. This lap was sponsored by a different driver, whose name we will not mention because he didn't lead the lap. Probably me.
The sponsor minimum donation, which is
right.
We're not cheap.
No.
Let's just put it that. If you have to ask, you probably can't afford it. But thanks anyways. Oh, look at that. We're 3 wide after the second lap already.
Yeah, why not, right?
Just making a little room at the top. And you know what? Maybe we'll get some action there. We got a few takers.
Oh, Javier Negron pulls to the high side. They're going to make a push to the front. Nate is probably not going to lead that lap. That looks like it is going to, in fact, be... Is that Greg? No, who is that? That's Jeff. That's Jeff up front. Just led that lap. Jeff Elliott in the 56, Team Doritos.
Oh, okay. So new paint job. I haven't seen. I obviously wasn't here last week, so I didn't see the.
Yeah. So here's what they did. The boys got together and they created teams. So as you can see, that the Doritos cars all look the same, but the main color will be different. So let's take a look at that. So Jeffrey Elliott.
I thought there was a few more Doritos out there, but I thought maybe I was just impaired and I would just be quiet.
So Team Doritos right there, 56, right? He's got the green.
Yeah.
But then you got his brother Chris in that red one. Let's get on the car so you can actually see it. So it's the same design, but they changed the main color.
In the middle. Oh, right. Okay, I see it. Yeah.
I see Gary Mingus in the 931. Stephen Brandstetter. Not Brandstetter. Who's 931? Breedlove. Robert Breedlove in the 931. He's blue. Gary Mingus is the purple one. So they all look the same, but the main color is different. So that's pretty neat. And you'll also see Big Stone Gap driving the same set of cars as well. So you can see on that bottom line.
Did everybody go to a team then, or was it only like whoever? Was it optional? How'd that work?
That's an excellent question. Let's put up the team list. The teams are the Wrecking Ball team: Ortiz, Negron, Oaks, Sandoval, Zach Roberts, and Josh Mercurio. Team Doritos: Chris Elliott, Gary Mingus, Jeffrey Elliott, Stephen Branson, Rob Breedlove, and Chris Van Vliet. And of course, Randy Watt, Andy Carroll, Brian Level, Greg Level, Eric Level, Dan Level, Brad Level, Blaine Level, Chris Level, Steve Level, and Jeremiah Level. Oh! Every single level on planet Earth is on Big Stone Gap Racing. That'll be a yellow flag.
Yeah, it looked like there was some glitching at the bottom of the screen there when you were listing that all off. I'm assuming that somebody had a bad connection, and looked like my money is on a warp issue when they get back in there. But if you go back, you'll watch them. They were blinking right towards, and they look like they're trying to get to the bottom, but I don't know to what extent. Yeah,
we're gonna check that out. Right when I went to the teams, yeah, you're right. It looks like the 931 of Robert Breedlove. He knew he was glitching, so he actually pulled to the apron and tried to get out of the way. But it's like, it looks like, Ortiz just got hit by a ghost car. And,
oh, man. And is that Ulysses in the 96 there?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought so. He's the same kind of like the white. Again, I want to say minty, but I realize it's not. But he's got that white and green spearmint. How about that spearmint?
Yep. So there's the 10 of Van Vliet and the gray Doritos. There's the purple Doritos of Mingus. So a couple of the Team Doritos got tangled up in that. That's unfortunate.
Is the damage still at moderate as usual?
Yes.
Then he changes the So anybody just like on the roof just now is probably out for the race. You figure?
It'll definitely
just
affect.
Got back on the tires.
Yeah, it'll definitely affect aerodynamics. Unfortunately, though, yeah, you're right. It might cause a problem. See if anybody decides to stay out here today. Most cars will pit, of course, the ones that were involved in the accident. And it looks like everybody's committed there. See the 088, the 388, how they sort of look similar, because that's Stone Gap guys. Denny changed his car up. He's part of Stone Gap as well, but he's driving a different car tonight. So who decided to stay out? We've got Robert Breedlove and Josh Mercurio decided to stay out. Mercurio will lead that lap and get those 5 bonus points.
Going for it. Every point counts.
Yep. 5 bonus points for leading a lap. Another 5 if you lead the most. But you never know, man. We've had it happen in seasons prior. We've broadcasted the Shake a Big series, and we've broadcasted on I'm on Fire, a couple of truck races. It comes down sometimes to the last race of where your even like your pit stops and stuff. You don't think it's going to be that big of a deal, but if it costs you that one spot, you really do need to be lucky and perfect all at the same time.
It's a bit of both, right?
Yeah, always. It's always a bit of both. I mean, luck is a big deal. And while we're on the caution, just going to focus on Graham McDonald. I have a thing here for him. Let's see here. There it is. So number 24 of Graham McDonald, last season number 1 of the I'm on Fire series. He scored with 1,306 points at the end of that. He was eliminated in playoff round 2, but he was 4th in points overall because they don't stop tracking points. Fellow Canadian Graham McDonald driving the 24 Mopar.
At the same time, while wanting to avoid giving him the Tarnation TV curse, it is our duty as fellow countrymen to cheer for him and rig the race in any way we can. We don't want tradition. It's just it is tradition.
Yep.
The great day for Canada and therefore the world.
Salute to you, Mr. 24 Graham McDonald, as you drive around and turn left all day. Hats off to you, sir.
Congratulations. And your round tires. What a marvel they are.
Oh, man. We could just do this all day. That'd be good. As you drive around this 2.66 mile track, may your winnings be plentiful and wonderful.
This is the blessing, of course, from the Duke of Winnipeg.
The Duke of Winnipeg just sent me a text message yesterday and said, "Good luck to all Canadians in the race tomorrow." Fantastic, I don't believe Outlaw's here. No, I don't see Doug Firth. Doug Firth, even though you're not here, we hope you win as well.
Oh, yes, another. The 2 Canadians in the series.
There's 3. I can't. There's a few of them, actually. I think, is it Slocum? I can't remember. There's a couple. I'd have to actually check the list. Jeffrey Elliott, also known as Jelliot. And we call Chris Elliott, we call him Selliot. And then, of course, Donnie Elliott is Deliot. Donnie Elliott does not race anymore, but he was in charge of the website. So the reason the website at Talladega Nights looks as good as it does, thank you to Donnie.
He's still running that. That's good.
He does, I think, a little bit. I believe he taught some of the other guys, how to run it as well. Sometimes people just have to step away from the racing. They'll always come back.
That's saying anything, though, right? Sometimes I'll go for a long stretch of time, won't even touch the Xbox, the computer, or whatever, other than just for this. And all of a sudden you find something like, oh, yeah, that kind of get that game that comes out, reignite your interest or whatever, something just kind of resparks your.
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah, I need to get back to the racing or whatever
It's
it may
good
be.
stuff. The shooters and all the different games, and like the boys here, they still play the Black Hawk Down game. And
nice. I'm replaying the remaster of Dead Space currently, and it is fantastic. It's every bit as good as it was before. I mean, it's not as good, obviously, because you never go back and play it for the first time, which was probably the very best. Like, it's one of my top all-time favorite survival horror games of all time, just for the atmosphere alone. It was so well done. So you get a chance, don't sleep on that remake. It's very faithful, and
it was actually a remake, not like a redux. Because sometimes they do the redux, they'll just up the textures and crank up the resolution, but they actually went in and like rebuilt the game.
The lighting, the sound, it still makes me jump out of my skin on certain parts there, so
cool.
Can't say enough good things about it.
Don't you mean you can't say enough good things about it?
You're right, buddy. That's exactly what I mean. And also, if you're on Game Pass on Xbox, it's on there right now, so go play it if you have it.
On the Game Pass, you say?
Yeah, that's a sponsor. Brought to you by Xbox, buddy.
Thank you, Xbox.
Why not PlayStation?
No.
That's their slogan. I'm reading it off the script. It says, hey, we're Xbox. At least we're not Sony, right, buddy?
Hey,
I don't know what that
buy an
means.
Xbox.
I'm not a fanboy. I don't know. That's just because.
Buy an Xbox, quick. It's not a PlayStation or a Nintendo.
Your friends will think you're swell.
Oh, man. Flabbergasted at how swell you are, buddy. We should be going through the field, shouldn't we? Nate Balser, we got Javier Negron, Denny Carroll, we missed Chris Elliott. Dan Lovell's in there. Oh, they're tightening up now, so it's a little harder to get on these cars. But like you say, all these guys are here. Dan Lovell, Keith Bynum, Brian Lovell, Mike Mangialardi, Randy Waugh, Perry Bond. Oh, we got his car working. I got Perry's car working. In practice, I couldn't get it working. And then Jeff mentioned that because they have the Shake and Bake series on Saturday, Perry actually had to resubmit his car. So I had the car, but it had to be updated. So now we got a Mountain Dew Green Fanatec sponsors on the rear lid. Thank you to Perry for I just had a bad car file and then
you know what?
Forgot to download the update. Yeah.
I swear I don't know how it happens because even when I would do it on my own side of things, I would download all the cars right before, like the whole list, and I would still be missing a car. Like it's still, I don't know if there was an old file in there, maybe it was a duplicate that wouldn't allow it to be written up right. Still got to work on getting that back together. I don't know if I can just see if I can roll this thing back to Windows 10, but I know they're trying to get rid of Windows 10, so I just need a Windows 11 patch for this. I haven't looked in a while here. Maybe after the long series of racing here, maybe this winter when things start to slow down, I'll try and reinstall it again, make it work. And have a little more patience this time because you saw me. I pulled my hair out now. I'm fully bald.
Something up with the 21 car. He's going backwards. There was a big gap that occurred there after that restart, and the 21 was actually scored. You could see the top. Well, the viewers can't see it, but you can. Top right of the screen. He went over the line on the restart at 10th position. He has definitely fallen from 10th. We're just going to track him right now and see where he lands here, side by side with Sean Dodson at 091 as they cross the stripe.
Oh, someone's going up to the top there.
5 spots, 7 spots. Looks like he lost about 7 or 8 spots. So I'm not exactly sure, but he's still able to keep the draft. So maybe he just missed a shift or something. These guys do use the manual transmissions.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So like if he was shifting like that, maybe that just got him out of shape and
it can happen.
He caught up to the pack there.
See, I use auto clutch. I use an automatic clutch. But some guys use an actual, like I have a clutch pedal, but I don't use it for this game. I use it when I play Assetto Corsa, but I don't use it for this game. It's just easier to have an auto clutch. But some guys will actually use the clutch pedal, and if you do slip, that can cause that. You can also blow a motor, so that didn't happen, fortunately, there, so that's good. Jeffrey Elliott at the front with his brother in tow.
Last season, we had some pretty spectacular blow-ups in the final few races, including the playoffs. So I'm hoping we don't see I'm not, obviously you can't ever control the randomness of the game when it decides to throw a rod, but at the same time, I hope if you're going to have it anytime, it'll be in the first few races and less towards the final stretch. That threw quite a wrench into a lot of stuff there.
Yeah. Random failures happen in real life, and they do happen in this sim as well. Jeffrey decided to go low there. He waited till there was enough room to bring Chris with him, but Chris's spotter may not have told him he was clear. So now they're side by side. Team Mercedes-Benz Doritos. Jeffrey still got credit for that lap.
I can't quite tell what it is there. The Donkey Kong themed car with the I was going to say marijuana leaf, but I'm assuming that's a palm tree. Coconut tree, perhaps. Is that the one? The tan and green?
Oh, that'll be Garland Oaks, I think is who you're talking about.
Is that what it is? Next to the... Yeah. He's got like... Oh, it's T. So it's got... it looked like the palm tree leaves or something over the back wheels there.
Yeah.
Some kind of greenery.
Yep. Some greenery.
Probably tea leaves. I'm guessing that would make more sense to now that we saw it.
Yeah.
So tea.
The 67 of Garland Oaks looking for a partner to go
he heard
high.
us talking there. He snuck out and he found the spot.
Mm-hmm. Keith Bynum is down there too. They're trying to get almost 4 lines going. It looks like these guys are trying to get 3 up front with Mangialardi and Keith Bynum in that 63.
Yeah, you got a few guys that don't want to commit and a few that are just kind of staying just a little off the line there, but okay, still the same 3 on the top. We got a 4th now.
Yeah, they're making a push. That top line's trying to get something going here. Could you believe this? 3 wide. So we will be looking probably at pit stops. I'm thinking around what, lap like 20 to 24? Because we did have that yellow came out and everybody went down in there about what, lap 5, I think it was? I didn't write it down.
I believe so.
Yeah. Currently, the laps led for the race. Jeffrey Elliott in the 56 car has led 7 laps, as you see there. Chris Elliott is now in front. So Team Doritos so far up front of this race. Chris has now led 2 laps. So as we fly through the field and try to cover everything, a lead change happened, but Elliott's still leading the race, so we could just play that card.
I wonder, so he's got to deal with a sore throat this evening, and he's not talking a whole lot. Maybe he's focused 100% of his thoughts on just racing right now. He doesn't have to worry about... I mean, I imagine maybe there's a little bit of team chatter, but it's like, don't talk to me, my throat hurts. And it's just like, I'm racing.
Yeah, Jeff's been going through some stuff. He's had he's had a sore throat and cold and all kinds of stuff, so he's feeling kind of gross. So we hope he gets well soon.
That's that time of year, right? All that stuff... all the cold bugs are out, and all the snotty little kids are back in school, and I know that's when I always get sick.
Yep. Oh,
whenever the kids get back to school, I'm like, oh god, here it comes. Just get it over with.
I love watching that 088 of Greg Lovell there, man. Like just right underneath that bumper, and Jeff has his wheel set up to be pushed. And if you've got Greg behind you, he is not going to let go of that bumper. We can put it on spectator camera here and watch how close these guys actually get. You watch that purple car, that 088, pushing those Doritos cars, especially here coming through turn 2 and 3 onto the back straight. Once they straighten out here onto this back straightaway, you're going to see no air between these guys. Because Greg and Jeff and Chris, like, see that?
Right.
That's where you get that speed. And going into the corner, they won't lift. They'll stay like that. Like, it's crazy how close these guys are going into the turns. Because the air coming off the back of the car, you really have to be careful going into the turns. But we're also watching guys who are like 20-year veterans of the sim.
That's it. And everybody's heading towards that bottom line, too. Am I not paying attention to the laps here or something? Are they getting ready to pit here, or are they just...
You're probably right, Brad. The pitting, I'm thinking around 20. I can't remember when the yellow came out, actually. I thought it was about lap 4 or 5.
I think you're right on there. It wasn't very far into it.
Yeah, and with them lining up low like this, they're getting ready to come down here. So we're going to see, hopefully we're going to see some green flag pitting, because that is always entertaining. And a really good show off the skill of all these guys, too.
Absolutely. You get everybody coming in hot off the line like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's depending on if no one's got a set pit window. I mean, obviously, maybe it's going to be a team-based decision, or it's going to come down to seeing people, because somebody's always going to want to stay out and grab that extra points.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time, some guys just like to pit 2 or 3 laps before everybody else, too. And since we weren't keeping track, it's going to be a mystery for all of us.
Exactly. So, we know it's coming up soon because they are claiming that low lane.
This is the beauty of live TV. You just never know what's going to happen, especially us if we're not paying attention. We don't know anything.
Well, and even then, last time by, at a turn 4, they were doing 196 miles an hour out of the turn. And they have to go from 196 or so down to 55 to hit that pit road speed limit when they come to the pits. The pit road speed limit is 55 mile an hour. Right here, they're doing 196. So when they do decide to pit, they literally need to drop like 130 mile an hour. Is that good math?
Yeah.
Pretty close, 140 mile an hour?
Yeah, I'd say.
In the matter of, geez, what, like a quarter mile?
Yeah, about 32 feet, I think, is the actual measurement.
32 whole feet. That's like 6 car lengths.
Over like metric feet, so there's probably carry the 1.
Yeah.
And then it's all everything they would weight in pounds, height in inches.
Oh, dude.
Length in centimeters.
Speed in kilometers.
Yeah.
That's all different. We're an imperial metric mix. Canada's hilarious, eh? Here they go.
Oh, hot to the bottom there. That was a quick move.
Ooh, right, the Elliots went, but the levels, team level stayed out.
Getting those few points, eh?
Okay, let's see here. So it was Chris, Graham McDonald, Mike Mangialardi, Good Pastor, Ortiz, Breedlove, Larry D, and Hayes, and Bone is back there as well. Ulysses Sandoval off pace. Gary Mingus getting passed by the leaders. Yep, he's still running. We'll keep an eye on Ulysses. He's a lap down.
I wasn't sure just because he had landed. He was on his roof, and then he was fortunate would have it landed on his tires afterwards, but I just didn't know how squishy he was going to be. So,
ooh, it's getting scattered. I love this. I love it.
Oh, smoke. Ooh-wee.
Wow.
Look at that. Oh,
that's not good advertising.
But right into the parking spot, and it could have been worse.
Like a glove.
Little slap and tickle and turn around.
So the front part of that looks like about what 8-9 cars got through that little mishap at the back. They were 4 wide coming into the pits, though. You need every last inch.
The smoke that he had from locking up there and driving around, and the fact that only one guy got spun, that was a pretty much as good as you would hope for.
Well, and there is only 26 cars here tonight, so you don't have a full pit road. Like, there is no one looking. Okay. There's nobody looking for that last spot where they have to slow down early, so at least there is room to come in there 4 wide.
Yes, that's absolutely.
But, I mean, it really does take a lot of finesse, and you're going to get accidents on pit road like that, and there will be no yellow flag because that's off the racing line. That's not on the track. It's on the track, but it's not on like the racing line. If you're in the racing line, that's totally different. So currently being scored in first. Let's see here. Go ahead.
I don't think he took too much damage on that swipe. I mean, he got turned around, but
I'm just going to focus on the 091 of Sean Dotson. He got credit for leading that lap, so he got some bonus points on that one.
Nice.
The pace car. I love what we always get to look at the pace car. Still cycling through the pits here. There's Josh Mercurio. And Stephen Brandstetter are now on pit road. A little bit of a strategy for everybody.
Oh yeah, everyone's got their own thing going on. I was going to say, I wonder if you could edit that out on a technical level. If you could edit the pace car camera out, if it's just like a file setting, you can tweak every other thing and mod the same from here to.
From when you're selecting cars to just ignore the pace car. Yeah,
it's possible.
Maybe it is possible. I never even thought of that.
I wondered that from back when I was doing it too, because I'd always come across it. I'm like, that's not what I'm looking for.
Yeah, he's always parked at the end of pit road. But yeah, if I go like right now, if I do it, it would pop right onto him. Right there.
There he is.
Yep. Look at him.
Look
at him looking.
Moment to shine.
Yeah. Hey man, we got to give it up for the pace car driver. If it wasn't for him, these guys would be speeding all day.
Slow down. You're going too fast.
Yep. There's the big Stone Gap in front there, that purple machine. All the Stone Gap cars do look the same, thanks to Frank Divins. Of course, Team Mercedes Doritos looks the same, thanks to Rodney Sullins. Greg Lovell getting credit for a 2-lap sled tonight. Of course, this is the 043 we are currently focused on here now, and that blue one. Focus on Greg here as we're coming to the line to start lap number 25. Stephen Branstad will yield to the pack. Get in the side here. Where's the side view? And we found side view, but side view is irrelevant because everybody's already gone by them. That's me doing a fantastic job.
Look at the grass. I was down there this morning and I was watering it, and you can see there's no weeds in it.
Right. It's another battle for first up here. 41 already has a lap led, but he's trying to get up there and get another one.
In for position.
Yep. Cars up front that have not led a lap currently, Brian Lovell and Nate Balser. So the 43 and the orange 79. Even though Nate got the pole but never led a lap. He did not lead the first lap. I thought he did. Apparently not, according to my scoring.
Oh, they're
Denny,
wide. They're fourth.
Yeah. Went from first to like 10th in the matter of like a half second. What happened? Holy moly.
I don't know. I was just looking at everybody got like super wide there. I was
Yeah.
like, what the?
It's amazing how quickly that can change.
There's a little bit of shaking going on in the middle line there. Is that a internet connection over there?
Possible.
Moving to the bottom.
Yeah, some jittering.
Hopefully not.
Yeah.
One of those tonight is more than enough.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. The cause for yellow number 1 was an internet problem, so that other than that, this has been a fantastic race. Yeah, I'll just blame everybody.
Thanks a lot, Verizon. I don't know who else is down there. Those are the 3 big players that I know of.
Yeah. Virgin, do they do maybe? I don't know.
Maybe. Well, just in case, thanks a lot, Virgin. We don't
You know what, though?
We'll give you some sass all around.
You Americans don't know what it's like, man. You should move up to Canada and pay 4 times as much for internet. You don't know what you're missing.
But there's still the problem. True, the price is more, but a lot of places in the States, just from because I worked in telecom for years, they have rolled out fiber to major cities, but there's a lot of places that are severely neglected and on some old junky copper phone lines and old Cablevision lines.
Oh,
and because Canada, everybody's kind of along the border, right? I mean, obviously there's varying degrees. Cities are up there, but for the most part, they say like 90% of us live within like 50 miles of the border. So basically, it's a big string of line across Canada, and like, there's your internet being tapped.
Right.
But if you look at the states, you got people all over, like all the different states in between. So I mean, I can't speak to it like that because obviously I don't know specifically. I just know like in certain areas where the infrastructure got wrecked, or like it's just old plant, and they just like we'll fix it up. And then the big companies get money from the government. They're like, we'll give us some of your money, and we'll put some fiber optic lines out here in the middle, the middle states. I don't. My geography is terrible, but in the places where it needs it. And then they're like, oh, sorry, you know what? We didn't get a chance to actually put that fiber in because I had to give myself a bonus and buy my 30 off for the year, and so people have to live with like garbage internet. And at this point, it should be like high-speed internet should basically be like food, water, electricity.
You'd think by now
for anything. You need to apply for a job. You need for healthcare, for anything. You're going to send like video chats. If you don't have internet, it's as common as a phone line, effectively, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure there's people who could get by. Don't get me wrong. I'm not speaking in like hyperbole, but anyway, That's my rant about the state of the internet.
You're right.
Fix your internet.
That camera angle always throws me. I looked like they were going 4 wide there. We've been focused on Mike Mangialardi here. He's just kind of chilling in like 7th, 8th place. He's been here all day.
Mm-hmm.
And he hasn't led a lap yet, though. It's got him scored as 0 laps led, but, there's still time. But you know what? You don't really need to lead him. I mean, it'd be nice, but it's not like going to be a huge issue. Top 10 all day long. In front of him, the 388 at Dan level. Got some Stone. We got, not Stone Gap. That's Stone Gap on the bottom, the 388. That outside line, Team Doritos is getting 3 guys in line here. Ulysses Sandoval yields to the pack.
Still hanging in there. Getting those points.
Robert Breedlove, Jeffrey Elliott, and Stephen Branstetter, those 3 Doritos cars on the high line. Denny Carroll behind them. Jeff Goodpasser, net 33 on the low line. Forgot whoever painted that car. Forgot to paint the driver. It looks like a ghost driving that car.
In the number 42, Casper.
Right. In the number, how do we get in there? Is it rear chase? Yeah. In the number 33, Jeff Goodpasser. Jeff Goodpasser took the day off and got an apparition to drive his car today. He's like, I'm just going to sit at home and watch an apparition drive my car.
That was it. That's a holdover from his Halloween.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. He just stayed home and let a ghost drive it. Denny Carroll is going backwards. We just saw him at the front, and now he's in the back. Like, where was he? We just had him there. Just had him.
I'm guessing he's probably
not too bad. He's in 12th. He's running in 12th. He wasn't
He'll
first.
Switch it up eventually.
Mm-hmm.
He's voracious. I was going to say. I look for the word. He's like coming on the front, and he slipped back a bit. And he'll be back up to the front. Oh, ew. What happened there? That was coming in hot.
Yeah, something going on back there. See, now I don't know if the yellow is going to come out on that one.
Late pit, because that was below the line, was it?
Get a view of the lights here and see if we've got a yellow flag. I don't think we do. Yeah, it's still green. The race is still green. We're going to go back and take a look at that.
Looks like he just locked right up. Like, I was just watching the YouTube feed there a few seconds behind, so all I could see is, like, the car just goes sideways, turns. Oh, maybe is that a failure option in the game? Can your brakes just seize up on you?
I've never had it happen. There is wheeled like issues. Guys have retired for wheel, which would be like a rim of some kind. So I don't know exactly what that entails. This is just watching a replay because I saw the 24 go around. It might have been. That is weird.
See, it just.
Yeah, it went right around, and he was already out of the turn.
It looked like it just locked up like it.
Put it in slow motion here. One tick down on slow-mo. Oh, okay. He got hooked.
Oh, he got. I didn't even see that.
Yeah, it just barely tapped him. No damage on that car, though.
That's what we refer to as a dick move.
No damage.
No damage, but just salty. You can tell that he's got.
Yeah.
He's got a few choice words. Thanks for the bump, pal.
You know what?
I'll see you in the team speak.
I think he'd be more mad at us at Tarnation TV for putting him on the air at the start of the race and casting the curse.
There's always that too. Rats.
So that was in a pit cycle.
We gotta stop talking to everybody until after the race.
Right.
No names, please.
So everybody is down on pit road. We're just scanning the track here now. These guys might still need to pit because they're moving very quick.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you that before after the last pit. So that would have been timed at 24, maybe lap 25.
Yep.
You're saying so.
Yep.
I think somebody, whoever's the first crew off was off. I think it was 24. So they're trying to push that tank. I mean, we know that those guys can conserve fuel for days. So That's always an option that maybe they're going to try and stay out the whole time.
It's possible, but you wouldn't be able to make it. They would have to pit, and that may have been part of why Graham got turned. But
38, that's 13 laps. I've seen him do more.
Oh yeah, you're right. If guys are clutching,
I've seen Jelliot roll in on nothing but a tank full of Subway farts.
You wouldn't be lying. Now we really do.
You got that cold cut trio, and then just didn't sit right, and that's just like a little bit of
yeah.
That's how you got.
That's a different kind of gas.
Yeah. They don't tell you about those secrets. Had a hole in the back of your seat, and you just fire a car along.
So this is interesting because we've got Greg Lovell leading the race, Brian Lovell right behind him, Graham McDonald a lap down, Dan Lovell in third, Nate Balser in fourth, Ortiz in the 0 car. He is 24th right now, 2 laps down. And there's Keith Bynum in 5th. So we do have some lap traffic splitting up the pack here. It looks like Goodpaster is going to go around Keith for 5th position. So this pack here is going to try to run down those leaders, but there's only a couple of laps left. I don't know if they're going to be able to catch them.
Yeah, where are we at? We've got 34.
Yeah, we got a couple laps to go here right now. So that pack in front, I mean, they are going to catch that pack with the help of Graham McDonald. Yeah. I mean, he's in between the 2 packs. He's a lap down, but he's kind of linking those two packs together. This lead pack, let's see, every car in this lead pack is on the lead lap. Yeah, so we've got Greg in first, Brian in second, Dan in third, and Nate in fourth. So Nate is staring at 3 cars that look identical to each other because that, of course, is big.
Oh, no.
What?
Oh, you hung on to it.
Wow.
Oh, my goodness.
Final lap.
That's a YouTube short if I ever seen that.
Jeez, I don't know what happened there. That was
I don't know
wild.
either, but that was a save of saves right there.
Yeah. That was crazy. I'm going to flip to helicopter mode and see if anybody wants to poke out of here and give this guy a run. 33 coming on the high side. He's got help. Nate can make a lane change, but Nate's choosing to stay low. It looks like Greg is going to get this win. Team Stone Gap might have a 1-2-3 podium finish, but I think Goodpaster is running for it. He's not going to get it. It's going to be 1-2-3 Stone Gap. The 33 at Goodpaster was on a mission. And there's the nice try, buddy, into the fence.
Yeah.
But
how you doing?
Wow. That was an awesome push by Goodpaster, man.
Wow.
Oh, wow. It looks like he gained
Wow.
It looks like he gained 5 or 6 spots in that last lap.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations to Greg.
He was moving.
Yeah, Goodpaster was on a mission, and he is 4th place, and we usually talk to the top 4, so we're going to talk to Jeff Goodpaster in the 33 and just seeing all that come together at the last second there, and he had a good push. And we get to watch Greg burn this thing to the ground. Congratulations to Greg Lovell for the win. Race number 2 of season number 2 of I Am on Fire. You know what they say? If you're not first.
Oh yeah, you're last.
If you're not first, you're last.
That's science. You can't argue with that.
Nope. And as always, we can't see anything. So congratulations and witness the smoke. Oh, he's disappearing act. That car is gone. It went in there as a... Oh, he's over there now.
Magic Man.
Yeah.
Hocus.
That's funny. I put the camera on halt just to see if I could see him again, and there he is. He came back. totally awesome finish. And it's always a fantastic race. We're going to save that replay because, like you said, we might be able to make a couple of shorts out of that.
That save on that bottom line, that last lap, I couldn't believe it. I'm honestly, I thought, okay, well, that was nice. I figured he was going to be sideways before he knew it, but he obviously the right combination of braking or just let off and steer into the curve. I don't know what happened there, but it was wild to see.
I wonder why it happened, and yeah, like you said, what an amazing save.
Something else.
So another fantastic race, buddy.
56 to the group.
Fantastic. Oh boy, what a swell.
Yeah.
What a swell even.
Go ahead, 56.
Yeah, no, it was great. Honestly, I think a couple of
ready
crashes,
for the
most part, just a good clean race, and like for what it was, there was no. Obviously, I said major. Obviously, there was only a few casualties in the beginning there, but I was surprised overall. We kept it on pretty clean.
Yeah, it was amazing race. I mean, the only yellow we had was the glitching with the internet. Oh yeah, send them on down here, Jeff. Yeah, we're just waiting for the top 4. Jeff's going to send them down. We'll get to talk to these guys. I mean, I could do it too. I quit the game already. Had enough of that.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Got time, really.
Awesome race as always. So much fun. Last week was a little bit of growing pains. Have been off for a month. But Jeffrey Goodpasser in the house, number 33, man. We were watching you run those guys down. You were pretty far away from that lead pack coming down to that last lap. And we were watching you reel them in, dude, and you almost had them.
Oh yeah. The cars tonight seem to really suck up a lot faster than they did last week. I don't know what it is, something in the air or something, but I mean, you could pull up on the back of the bumper of somebody so fast you just about run them over. So I just told Brian to burp it a little bit, my teammate to burp it a little bit, so I could catch a little whiff of their draft, and man, it pulled right up there and got me right back into position to finish on the podium.
I don't know, but I'm going to give credit to Larry D because he stuck my bumper and we were catching about another lap and we probably would have had it.
I was going to say, you guys were running those guys down, and you kind of had Graham McDonald in the middle there. He was a lap down, but he wasn't damaged. So his draft must have helped you guys get there too, right?
Oh yeah, most definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, that draft seemed to be really strong tonight. I mean, it was. I loved it, because you could get a little bit behind and still, get back up there and compete. I don't know what changed tonight. I don't know if it's. I don't see any differences in the setup, but it seemed to work better.
Full moon somewhere.
I was going to say, Goodpasser, you're the 33 on the roof of your car. It looks like it's facing the outside wall, but because it's 2 3s. It looks okay. It just looks backwards. Am I seeing things?
I probably have to fix it, but
I don't know. I think it's right, but it looks. I don't know why it looks funny. It still looks like a 33 though. I don't know. I just kind of notice stuff like that sometimes, where it on the broadcast. I'm like, the number's backwards. I'm like, no, that's what 3s look like. I'm like, wait, that's what 3s look like upside down. So I can't figure it out. I'll just look at the car from behind, and it just looks like 2 M's. Whatever. Who knows?
Yeah, that's what I say too.
Yeah, Jeff, but it was awesome watching you run them down, because we're looking at it going, okay, it's going to be a level 1, 2, 3, and then we see the Goodpasser pack coming, like really, really hard out of it. Like basically, I guess it was almost coming out of turn 2 when you guys really started to run them down on that back straight.
Yeah. After we came out of the pits, Larry D said, "You ready to do this?" And I was like, "Oh, let's go. We got to go."
A couple of good bumps there coming out of the tri-oval, but yeah, it was close. That's for sure. We're looking at the info right now. It was a tie for 5th between Nate and Larry. So yeah, there was nowhere to go. But yeah, fantastic race, man. You were that close to the podiums, and you definitely made it an exciting finish. So yeah, thanks for being here.
And I also made it on all 4 wheels this week compared to last week.
Right, yeah. Last week,
flipping like 26 times.
I think it was. We counted it. There was a few. It was definitely a few rolls. You got enough flips in last week to last you the next 2 seasons.
Yeah, after that wreck, I ended up getting sick. It was bad.
Nausea. Do you have any?
Finest.
Do you have any shout-outs you want to toss down before we move up the ladder here?
I want to shout out to Larry D. He stuck to my bumper like glue, and we almost had it, but we'll try again next week. And also shout out to my wife, who is at work, which I will be going there in about another hour. So, yeah. And I want to also thank the Elliots as well for having a phenomenal league going on here. If you're interested, get with the Elliots. They will set you up.
Yeah, they are available 24/7. I have proof. I call these guys all hours of the day. But yeah, anyway, thanks, Jeff. Always good talking to you, man. We'll see you next week, I hope.
All right, thank you, Blaine.
All right, now we've got Dan Level. We got the whole crew here now. But you guys are watching, obviously, your review mirrors, that pack led by Jeff and Nate coming. Were you? It looked like the plan worked because it was a 1-2-3 finish. But what was the view in the review mirror? Was there talk about that, blocking those guys, holding them back?
Well, actually, a good job, Jeff, there for that run there and catching up. Real good racing there. But actually, I was a little bit more worried about what was going on in front of us. It's like 2 or 3 times on that last couple of laps, Greg and Brian got together, and I thought one of them were going to wreck. It was happening right in front of me, and I was trying not to, ditch my teammates. And, we usually try to work with one another at the end of the race, and wherever we're at that time is usually where we're going to finish. We try not to. So we're just going to repeat what you said the first time.
Yeah,
right?
I'll start your interview again. We'll wait for it to get going here. I do believe we are live again. So yeah, sorry about the glitch. Anybody watching live? We'll start again with Mr. Dan Level. Go ahead. The floor is yours. Round 2.
Yeah, I was just saying to your question earlier about, did I see those guys coming and was I at all worried? And I was just saying I was a little more worried about what was going on in front of me. That last couple of laps seemed like Greg and Brian got together a couple of times and it almost wiped Greg out. And, we work as teammates, and we try not to pass one another at the end of the race. Wherever we're at with the last few laps to go is usually where we're going to finish. Because, you could try to get under somebody or around somebody and catch a quarter paddle and, you're both going around. So we try to avoid that and work together. But, man, it was hard staying behind them with, them kind of hitting each other. And it seems like the cars were just sucking up so fast that you could get into somebody so quick that you didn't even realize you were hitting them. And they got together and squirrely. And I think us slowing down because of that, those couple of hiccups caused the guys behind us to gain momentum on us because they were pretty smooth. And yeah, I seen them coming. And, at the end of it, we had to do a little bit of teamwork and, try to block it up a little bit there and keep them from getting around us. But it worked out for us. Ended up on the podium. I'm happy about it. I always want to get a win, but I'll take third.
Yeah, and even after last week, too, because it was a little bit of I don't know what it was. There was a lot of cobwebs last week, I think, because it took the month off from running the points series. And then everybody comes back, and it was just the accidents were happening, but it wasn't like everything that could have gone wrong last week did. So it was awesome tonight to see the only yellow that came out was actually just an internet problem. I think it was a 931. Literally just swept across the track and disappeared, and then out of nowhere people started spinning out. Like we couldn't even see why they were spinning out. Super strange, but stuff like that happens. But
last week was I call it off-season rust, knocking off the rust. You're not in here doing it every week, and getting in the mix. And we had few extra drivers last week too. We had a pretty good field, so it's just one of those things. Combination of newer drivers in the mix and just a first season race. It tends to always breed a few more cautions, but last week was really just bad, unexcusable. But we made up for it tonight. We had a good race, real clean. Everybody being courteous around each other at the same time, racing hard. So it was fun. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, man, that's awesome to watch you guys every single time, and always great talking to you too. Did you have any shout outs you want to toss down before we move up the list to Brian?
Yeah, I just want to shout out to my teammates. Thanks for all the teamwork, and shout out to Jeff and you, Blaine, everybody that puts this together, all the admins involved, and there's a lot behind the scenes that goes on to keep this going, put this together, and keep it going. So appreciate all you guys. Appreciate Frank Divins for the paint jobs. He does an amazing job. Want to shout out to my beautiful wife Bonnie, my kids, grandkids, everyone that's watching the broadcast. That helps keep this going too. I really appreciate what you do, Blaine. You put on a awesome broadcast for us, so kudos to you. And thanks for all you drivers that come out and race with us every week. We wouldn't have the league if it weren't for you, so appreciate all you guys. Thanks for all the good hard racing. And be back next week and hopefully win one.
Thanks a lot there, Dan. Brian, second place. The floor is yours. Congratulations on the second place finish, of course.
I appreciate that, Blaine. And how about that air that Good Pasture got there at the end?
I like the bump of good run, buddy, and then he's up in the fence, up in the atmosphere up there above Talladega Nights Super Speedway. Thanks, John Godfrey, by the way, for the rebranding.
Yeah, it was Godfrey, wasn't it?
Yep, that made the track. Yep.
Yeah, but anyway, yeah, it was an interesting race. The nose and the rear of the car in front of you felt a little bit off tonight. I don't know if it's the new template we have for our team cars. Me and Greg was talking about it, and it just didn't seem like I was, as close to his rear bumper as what it was showing. I got into him, I don't know, 3 times in a lap and a half, and I'm just glad I didn't wreck him. But all in all, man, it was a good race.
Yeah, I wonder because the Mercedes, the Mercedes model would be different because you're usually running like a Ford, right?
A Chevrolet. The 2023 template for this mod, I don't know if it's the front clip that's sticking out a little bit farther or what was going on tonight. I just, me and Greg, we've scratched our heads about it, and I
makes
don't
sense.
know.
If you run Chevy, the Mercedes template fits on the 4th model, which is the generic. So I think it's Ford, Chevy, Dodge generic. So it's a generic model. So the model's different.
Yeah, it's a little bit different, but man, it was a exciting race. I wished my nephew Eric Lovell could have been up in the mix with us, and I'd wish that my other teammate Denny Karl would have been able to get up there and run hard with us, and Randy Waugh as well. We all represent Big Stone Gap Racing, and I'm affiliated with Wolfpack Racing as well, and I'd like to give a shout out to them guys. But man, it was a pretty hard fought race there, the last 10 laps.
I remember because Karl was up there with you guys and he fell back a lot. We were kind of watching him lose some positions. Was there any chatter on the team chat of what may have happened there, or was it just bad timing?
Well, me and Greg and Denny got to the outside after we pitted, and the Doritos team was on the bottom, and I was kind of hoping for me, Greg, and Denny to clear to get down on the bottom. But when Denny jumped down there, the Doritos team, went high, and it was kind of hung out, and I dropped down on the back stretch to help him, and then I can't remember if it was Mangialardi that jumped down behind me or who it was, and that kind of left Denny Karl in a weird, position. But I kind of wished it would have worked out better in his favor.
Yeah, that was a shame. I mean, nothing. And then we were looking for Wah as well, and those guys were kind of scattered. And then even Eric was doing good at the start of the race. He was up there in the mix as well. Ended up a lap down, but I mean, yeah, the whole crew's out there. It's awesome to see you guys, man. It was a great race. Did you have any other shout-outs you nice to toss down before we move on to Greg?
Yeah. Oh, actually, I'd like to correct myself. It was actually Nate that dropped down behind me, but yeah, I'd like to give a shout out to my family, my boys, Jacob and Isaiah, and I'll give a shout out to my other teammates at Wolfpack Racing. They're a big part of my life in this racing as well.
Yeah, it's always a blast watching you guys, man. So yeah, congratulations on the second place finish, and hopefully next week. Same type of racing, green flag pit stops, mixed up the whole field. It was awesome to watch. But Greg, with the win, and Brad and I were flabbergasted at that save, like down on the apron, back up on the track. And of course, all your boys are going to give you some room to get back in line. But was that like we were talking before? Like maybe it's a difference because you're not racing the normal car model that you're used to, that maybe you got a hook on the bumper or something?
Let me real quick.
Greg in here? He is in here. Sorry, go ahead, Brian.
But I wanted to thank the Elliots at Tarnation TV for everything they do, man. They work hard at this, and I want to thank all the drivers that show up to race. It means a lot, and the donations, and everybody watching at home or wherever they might be. And I'd like to thank you guys at Tarnation TV for the work you do, and
thank you.
Making our renders look good on YouTube and so on. I'd just like to thank everybody. So yeah, you can go ahead there.
Yeah, thanks, man. That's awesome. Yeah, Gary Mingus with the renders. A lot of stuff. A lot of people help this broadcast come together, and we try to remember to thank everybody involved. So yeah, thanks, Gary, Jeff, all the drivers as well. But yeah, Greg, are you there?
Yeah. What's up, buddy?
Yeah, I was wondering we were talking about the last minute save that you had to make flying onto the apron there, and all your guys give you room to get back in. But do you think that's got something to do with the different car model? If you usually run a Chevy, now you're running a generic.
Yeah, I was talking to Brian earlier, and I don't know, man. It was just like you couldn't ride as close as you normally, would. It's like you felt like you had room, but you would actually bump somebody in a corner, even if you look back off of them a little bit. It was kind of odd. I don't know why tonight, because I actually bumped the 56 one time in the corner when I didn't even mean to do it. It didn't even look like I was close enough to bump him, and I still bumped him. I don't know what was going on tonight with that.
That's got to be it then, because you guys have so many hours in this game, and you probably always run the same make, like the same manufacturer. So now that you're running a Mercedes and that template's built on the fourth car model, the hitbox is different. Something's different with that model. It actually drives different. You guys are actually feeling that. Like I wouldn't even feel that. I would just race and whatever happens. But it sounds like like every millimeter of that thing, where something's different. It rides different. It drafts different.
We're in Chevys, ain't we?
That's weird. That's cool though. That's good. That's kind of neat to hear that. Like it actually is different, because there's always that debate. Like, is it different? Well, that looks different, but is it actually different? It sounds like it's actually different.
There's got to be something up with that, because I never noticed that until tonight.
Hey, actually, we're in the Mercedes. What is Big Stone Gap running?
We're running Chevrolets.
See, Yeah, Team Dorito drives a Mercedes, but yeah, he
right.
Yeah, Greg did bump me a few times. He didn't mean it, and it was weird tonight for sure, because I trust Greg 100%, but he was tapping me, and I'm like, let's just pray it don't happen. But yeah, he got me one good time, and took me to the high line. But anyways, we figured it out. But it was difficult. It was definitely different, even with my own teammates when I'm bumping Chris. It feels a little different, like something's sticking out there, doesn't it, Greg?
Yeah, it was kind of weird tonight, but I'd like to thank Brian for staying with me at the end there. He could have passed me when I got loose and went on to the apron. I got real lucky to save that one because, I mean, I went pretty far off the track.
Yeah, you were way down there. And that is weird. Yeah, I'm thinking, yeah, you guys are still running the Chevys then. So there is no difference. Just the paint job's different, and that wouldn't affect it. Interesting.
Yeah, I'd like to thank Brian for staying behind me and Danny for staying behind Brian and helping me get a win. You know, that's what a teammate's supposed to do. If I'd have been behind Brian or Danny, I would have done the same thing at the end. So, you know, it ain't all about winning, man. It's about helping your teammates. You know,
So-
that's my goal.
No, it makes for fantastic racing because we know you guys are you're gonna race each other, and then and then there's times where you're gonna help each other and maybe throw a block or whatever. But when it comes down to that last lap, you never really know what's gonna happen. But it's always clean racing, and if something does go wrong, it's just a racing thing. But I'm curious, Eric Lovell, is that your son?
Yes, Eric's
That's-
my son. Yeah,
Fantastic. So here's a question: how old is he?
he's 30.
Okay, so he was. Wow, see, that's cool. So he wasn't playing this game in 2003 then?
He used to play it when he was a kid back, just messing around on it.
That's cool.
You know, back when he was 7, 8, 9 years old, he would go in my room and get on single player and mess around, goof off on it, you know.
Yeah,
and stuff.
that's cool.
But he's only in like his 4th week of it, so it's going to take him a little while to get used to all the tracks and, you know, how to draft and how close to get to people. And he's got to really get, I think where he's really struggling at is pit stops. He's got to get that down. When he gets that down, I think he'll be good.
Yeah, the pit stops, especially at Talladega, there is a lot of finesse to it. Especially, I've seen you guys do the hot pitting. You're coming in at like an 80 and somehow don't get a speeding penalty, but there's a whole way to do it, and it's cool to see everybody coming in. Well, like even like Brad with his kids, you know, we're all gamers, and because we grew up in the 80s, and now we're having kids, and you're able to play. You know, the kids are still playing this. We're all playing the same games. It's awesome that this NASCAR 2003 can just keep on going like that. And then, you know, why not? Let's just add another level to the list, right?
Yeah, hey man, the more young guys we can get in the game, the better.
Yeah.
And the longer the game's gonna stay around. You know,
Yeah.
I mean that's a big part of it.
Yeah, we all love this thing so much that it would be, it's puts a smile on all of our faces, I'm sure, to see everybody's playing this. I mean, there's guys, that's why I asked how old he was, because I'm thinking there's guys in here I play and they're like 18, so they weren't even alive when this thing came out, you know, and everybody still loves it. So it's good to see, man. But yeah, thanks again for your time.
He does a lot better than I thought he would, because I mean he's raced at Texas, Atlanta, and a few of them other places, and he actually surprised me. Getting top fives and stuff, man, just getting into it. But like I told him, it's going to take him a little time to figure out the gas pedal on the corners and, you know, how not to run so hard and burn his tires up.
That's the thing too, listening to the tires.
It takes years to figure it out.
Yeah, listening to the tires I find is a big thing with me. Like, I know if the car is going to break loose, and it's a lot to do with the audio as well. As long as you can hear your tires squealing and know how to feather that brake pedal, maybe not take your foot off the gas all the way. It's all this stuff comes together, and once you get the hang of it, it's really cool.
I'm gonna try to show him what I know. You know, try to get him up to speed. You know, as fast as I can. But it's still going to take him. It's going to take him 2-3 years.
Probably.
To get to where he's good enough to compete, every week.
Yeah, it's a long road because it is such a good simulator. There's so many things involved, especially with all the different tracks available, and everybody drives different. And let's go out and run some Talladega laps. There's a track to start on. But man, if you can do it here, you can pretty much do it anywhere, because this is, and not artificial intelligence, because everybody knows how the AI runs. It just pit when they want. You never know when they're going to go.
Yeah, I know.
And you're like, the guy on the third line is going to the pits now, and he just wipes the whole field out. And you're like, oh, it's so much more fun playing online. You can bump
AI
draft.
cars scare me.
Oh, you can't bump draft them. They get scared when you bump them. They start slowing down.
They'll wreck you too.
Yeah, it's stupid. Yeah, online racing is the only way to do it. Join a league, and why not have it be Talladega Nights?
I had fun tonight, though. It was a fun race.
Yeah, man. Well, I guess we got Gary Mingus waiting in the wings with the factoids. So I guess if you have any more shout-outs to toss down, we'll let you go, Greg, and we'll move on to Gary.
Yeah, I'd like to give a shout-out to you, Blaine. And was anybody helping you tonight? Was Brad helping you tonight?
You betcha, bud.
Yeah, thank you, Brad. You and Blaine, y'all do good, man, and we appreciate y'all being here when you can show up. And I want to give a shout out to Jeff and Chris and Ken and all these admins here and all the drivers that show up every week. Without the drivers, we wouldn't have nothing to show up for. So, and I'd like to give a shout out to BSR, Bomb Squad Racing, Magoo, Brian Voles, and them guys, because I race over there too, and they're a good group of guys to race with, and they're like family too. And I've been back racing for 14 straight years, guys, and I think I'll probably stick with it till I'm no longer here, and the good Lord's ready to take me away, I guess.
Well, we're not going to talk about that stuff. You got lots of years left in you, man. I wish this thing tracked stats, because I would love to see how many, laps led, how many wins, how many top 10s you had, like if it was built like iRacing was built, where you had an account and it tracked all that stuff, it would be astronomical numbers. I mean, I'm sure we could log into our Rolling Thunder Gaming's website and see your record there, because they have a stat tracking thing in the website. But that's just one league.
Yeah, I raced over there one full season. I didn't really race over there much, but
okay.
Joven Anderson and there's a bunch of good drivers on this game. Joven and Tyler Mallon and KJ, Mac Daddy. And I mean, there's a bunch of really good drivers on this game that are better than me.
Yeah,
I can run with them and I can stay with them and stuff, but they got just a little bit of an edge on me.
Yeah, Mallon is a good driver, but he's also responsible for a lot of the stuff behind the scenes, like that free cam, like He's got the tech. He's got that tech mind too, where somehow he's cracked into this game, and without free cam, I wouldn't be able to make the trailers like what you're seeing now on screen with the track footage behind with those slow pans, all done with free cam. All thanks to Tyler Mallon.
Well, he's got his own EXE that shortens the cautions.
Oh, he created that thing too, did he?
Oh yeah. He's
custom caution mod or whatever.
Pretty good. Yeah, I'm friends with him, so.
Yeah, he does phenomenal work.
I mean, there's nothing about this game he doesn't know.
Yeah, he's a guy we need. He's the reason this thing's going as far as it has, because he's a big reason with all these extra little utilities that he comes up with. I don't even know how he does it. The guy's a sorcerer. But yeah, we got Gary over there falling asleep, so we should probably let you go, Greg, and then we'll probably be talking to you again shortly anyhow. So
wake up, Gary.
There he is. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Greg.
I thank y'all. Appreciate it.
Awesome, buddy. Have a good night, man. Thanks again.
You too.
Gary Mingus with your factoids of the night.
Yeah, with Slingshot's Thursday night statistics. is what we'll call them. And
Cool.
I like to do a little bit of analyzation of these things. This is something always pops out that just shows me something, and I'll let you see what it is. If you notice the top 5 that led the race or won the race with Greg, Brian, Dan, Jeff Goodpasture, Nate Balser, those 5 guys didn't even make it into the top 5 of the fastest laps. So that leads you to the issue that, does the fastest car always win? No, it doesn't. The smartest driver is the one who wins.
That's interesting. That is interesting. Top 5, not the fastest lap.
Exactly. And here's your top 5. And the amazing thing about this top 5, actually it was the 6 top drivers on fastest laps, all did it on one lap. 25. Lap 25 was the fastest lap for all these guys. And if you look where each of them finished, it just blows my mind. Anyhow, starting with the 5th fastest driver was Larry D. He did a 47.706 with 200.730 miles per hour. In 4th place with Jeff Goodpasture. He did a 47.703 seconds, 200.742 miles per hour. In 3rd place was Robert Breedlove. He did a 47.701, 200.751 miles per hour. In 2nd place was Mike Mangialardi. The Italian Stallion did a 47.665 seconds, 200.902 miles per hour. And the fastest lap of the night, this was the biggest surprise, was Perry Bond. He did a 47.660, 200.924 miles per hour. And as I said, they all were on lap, not 25.
Wow, Perry, but yeah, because I'm looking for him. I don't even can't see where he was. Oh, he finished in 7th. Yeah, so he had a really good finish because he never qualifies either. So he came from a 27th position to place 7th and get the fastest lap at almost 201 mile an hour.
Yeah, he was the fastest climber of the night.
Wow. Yeah, that's awesome to see Perry out here. He'll race sometimes, and sometimes you don't see him for a few weeks. But yeah, he's been out here the last couple of weeks, and it's cool that he's able to join us on Thursday nights and then gets the fastest lap.
Yep, and we had 11 lead changes throughout the 38 laps, and that was amongst 6 different drivers, 6 leaders.
Yep. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, a lot of laps. Most laps led tonight, too. We forgot to mention that. Chris Elliott with 13.
Yeah. Greg Lovell, 11. Jeffrey Elliott, 9. Nate Balser, 2. Sean Dodson, 2. And Joshua Mercurio led 1 lap. It was an awesome race all the way around. I'm going to have nightmares tonight anyhow. I had one last night where I was in the Doritos number 12 sweet and spicy chili.
Right.
and I was sitting on the track at the start finish line, and I had all the Lovels cutting donuts around me.
That is a nightmare.
I woke up and I said, maybe I better not show up tonight.
It's like a turf war, like gang warfare. Yeah.
Really, Big Stone Gap. We got to figure out, the Doritos boys got to figure out a way to fill that gap.
Yeah, they're the team to beat, man. But I know you guys can do it. We got Wrecking Ball out there, and we got Doritos. So one of you guys is going to figure out how to railroad Big Stone Gap. Because tonight they dominated this race at the finish line, of course, with a 1-2-3 finish. So we'll see what happens next week. But Yeah, man. Thanks a lot for the renders that you pulled out, because these things look fantastic. I got them scrolling on the broadcast right now. And of course, sometimes through the race, they look great.
Yeah,
And
little piece of information that while I was listening to you talk about the models and everything before, if there was a difference, the Mercedes-Benz that we're driving goes on a Ford Mustang.
oh, the Benz is on the Mustang. Oh.
Yes, the Mercedes-Benz is on a Ford Mustang.
Oh, okay. See, I always thought that most of those manufacturers that aren't in NASCAR, like you can get Mercedes, Honda, Bentley, Lincoln. I thought they put them all. The majority of them, I thought, landed on the generic. But yeah, that makes sense, I guess, if they design it with the Ford.
And
so that's interesting.
And Rodney Sullins, who, to me is probably the premier painter. He's the most artistically created skin painter that I've run into in my 20-something years that I've been doing this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still learning stuff from him, but his creative juices get flowing. He did the Doritos team cars, and when I went to render them, I got to thinking, well, do they have a generic model that this thing goes on? And I kept playing around with it, and I found out it goes on a Ford.
Oh, okay.
So it's a Ford Mustang, which is what I normally drive anyhow. So it's not any change for me.
Perfect. Yeah, I never even thought of that. Yeah, that makes sense. They designed it on the Ford. Well, that's cool. Yeah, and you'd have to know that because you have to run all 4 models through your rendering program, and it only makes sense if you get it on the wrong one, the headlights don't look right, the grill's all weird.
Yeah, well, and the way it works with 3D Max is you have one render that has all 4 models in it.
Right.
And you have to turn them on or turn them off. You can turn them all on, and then you got a real mess on your hands.
Yeah.
But when you're doing somebody that's in a Ford, you have to turn off all the other models. And what I did was, with each of these, because there's between the Toyotas and and some guys have Pontiacs, which, they go on different models than everybody else. They go on Chevrolets, and getting that all done can be quite tedious at times. But when you import the TGA model on top of it, and you bring that into the 3D Max and then render it, it comes out perfect. You don't see any glitches or anything in it. And the Mercedes is, because I was fearful of that. I was fearful that the Mercedes, whoever made that particular template, that it would not work with 3D Max. But as soon as Rodney sent me the TGAs on those Doritos cars, it was easy for me to figure out that it was on Ford. So me doing a lot of my renders on Fords, because I drive a lot of Fords, although
sounds like it works.
The only deviation I've ever had in driving cars on the sim was, I've done Chevrolets, and I've done Dodges and Challengers and Camaros and Monte Carlos and all those different models. But in the truck series, in the CWS 2015, I always have been driving a Ram truck, a Dodge Ram.
Right. Yeah, I think it sounds like 3D Studio Max works similar to how Blender works, because I use Blender because it's a freebie. And it's the same deal. You got all 4 in there, and you just have to choose to hide the model, and sometimes they don't line up. I'm like, this looks weird. I'm like, because I'm putting a Chevy on a Ford, and it's twisted, right? But yeah, man, they look fantastic, and 3D Studio Max does look a lot different from the Blender models. But again, another thing we're able to do with an old game. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I have Blender, But to be honest with you, as free as it is, I ain't figured it out yet.
No, everything's so different.
And I have, over the years, between me and another buddy of mine that does a lot of painting himself, that I've raced with over at ASR, Mike Mangrum. Mike, he races with us sometimes on cup nights on Tuesday nights, and he'll race with us on Monday nights over here at Talladega Nights. But we play golf together and everything, and he's always kept all of the scenes that were 3D Max originally from the 3D Max version 8, 3D Max 8, and in doing so, he's had them put all up on a Google Drive. And Stunod Racing used to have a lot of the 3D Max, but when they started using Blender, they took their 3D Max models off.
Oh,
and
wow, because that's I thought they would support all of them.
Yeah, and if it weren't for Mike Mangrum having all of those files, all I had to do was get on his Google Drive, and I could download any model and everything for 3D Max. And I said, well, I'm just going to stick with 3D Max because I know it the best, and I've upgraded it. It's never cost me a penny. Okay,
yeah, that's a good price. $0.
Yeah. Well, I'm cheap. I'm as cheap as they come. If you have to pay for anything, I'm a old retired veteran that lives on Social Security and disability, and I can't afford those type of luxuries. That's why I race so much, because it keeps me out of trouble.
Yeah, it keeps itself busy, and we own the game and have for 20 years, so it doesn't owe us nothing.
I've spent more money on Angry Birds in 2 years than I have in 20 years on NASCAR 2003.
Yeah, that sounds about right. That's awesome, dude.
Don't even get me started on WGT Golf.
No, that all those apps that just eat your money, and I don't touch any of them. But man.
I have to be entertained somehow, and I ain't got nothing here but my dog Bo, and he wants to sleep and eat. That's it.
That's what I want to do, sleep and eat at the same time. If I could figure out how to do it at the same time, I'd never get out of bed.
Saving time like crazy.
Yeah, it's multitasking.
They got to talking about doing a lot of eating tonight on TeamSpeak before the race, and I explained to him, I went to my doctor, and he said, Gary, you need to start watching your weight. I said, Doc, I got it out there in front where everybody can see it. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I can't watch it.
Yeah, and he said, no, that's not what I mean. He says, you need to get in shape. I said, listen, Doc, I was in shape when I was in college, and I played in college football, and high school football, and I always stayed in shape when I was in the military. I ran forever and ever and ever. I said, and I've discovered that at 70 years old, round is still a shape.
Yes, it is. Stay round. We worked hard enough. You deserve it.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out real quick, and then I'll let it off. First off, Blaine, you and Brad, y'all just do a phenomenal job. I love you put me to bed nights watching races, and I had to get up the next morning to see who actually won them.
Nice. Well, thanks, man. Yeah, it's a lot of fun doing this stuff, and
everything that I do, that I have done, whether it's for this league or another league, or help somebody with a technical problem, or some of the new guys that come in, they have no idea where they're supposed to get these car models from and how they're going to get them painted or nothing like that. I get a great deal of satisfaction out of doing that, because unfortunately, after 22 years in the military and a Vietnam era veteran, the VA has decided that I have a little PTS. They don't put D on the end of it because it's not a disorder.
Oh.
Okay. but my PTS gets treated by doing painting and doing renders and helping people with their computers to be able to race the game and do that kind of stuff. And I can't tell you how much satisfaction I get out of seeing a car that I painted get out there and race and run good and win a race or whatever. When I see that, I just love it. And that's what keeps me coming back. I got to see that.
Yeah, it is very cool that the broadcasting we're able to do with all the software now and put it all on YouTube for people to watch live. It's crazy how far this thing can go.
And the most amazing thing about it is that in the 20 some odd years that I've been playing this game and working with this game, I've never had anybody offer to paint me a car. And I told Rodney that, and he said, well, tell me what you want. And I said, well, all you got to do is go to my page on Facebook, Slingshots Paint Shop. I said, there's probably 300 renders on there of cars and different models that I painted, and you'll see which ones have the number 12, or in the olden days when I was number 41, or the older days when I was number 88. You'll see exactly who my primary sponsor was, because when I first started racing, I wanted a sponsor that nobody else had. And I had been built a reputation about racing the Bunny Bread car. And Bunny Bread and Flowers Bakery Groups were so kind back in those days that they actually paid me to race those schemed cars for like 8 months. And that was just phenomenal.
That's awesome.
That's advertising. And I told them, I said, these races are broadcast back in the old days of DRL TV and some of those guys that knew how to stream and put these races on. They said, well, you know, that's like paying for a commercial. How many people do you know actually sit down in front of a computer and look on the internet and watch these races? Well, there you have it. So they started sending me money to race that scheme. And when it comes down to, in the last moment, as many different sponsors as I've had, I'll always be ready to go with the Bunny Bread car.
That's cool. You got paid for sponsorship, man. That's pretty awesome. I wonder if some of these guys get paid for it, but I guess if it's live, it's a better advertisement if it is a broadcasted race. But yeah, this race tonight was pretty awesome. And yeah, man, well, I'll have to let you go because I started a new job and I got to get up at like 4 a.m. But we're squeezing in these short races on Thursday, so I'm kind of happy that big thanks to Jeff for not extending the races because we can get them done in 2 hours, which is a bonus. I know some of those shake and bake races end up being almost 3. So yeah, man, thanks again for.
I like the I'm on Fire series because
short and sweet.
It's short, sweet. You get it over with. There's always a lot of action in it, and it's a little more intense and just a little more entertaining sometimes.
Yeah, I find that too. A shorter race and the increased fuel frequency tends to lead to more exciting race, and tonight was proof of that point. But yeah, thanks again, Gary, for your factoids or the slingshot stats, the Thursday stats, or whatever you call. What did you call them? The slingshots Thursday stats.
Slingshots Thursday night statistics.
There it is. So Thursday night statistics by Slingshot himself. Thanks again, Gary, man. We'll see you next week for sure. I'm sure you'll be here because we will too.
And the only reason that they call me Slingshot is because when I was a little boy, I was so ugly. My mama had to feed me with one.
Nice. That's awesome, man.
Good night, fellas.
Thanks again for your time, bud. Have a good night.
Thanks, so.
Gary, the Slingshot himself, thanks for the renders and the factoids. He's changed it now. It's not the factoids anymore. It's Gary the Slingshot Mingus. And just, what did he say? Slingshots Thursday night. That's a tongue twister, man. I can't do this stuff. I said, See, because you could say that because it's only not. It's like 8 p.m. where you are. Here it's like 11.
You're like,
I'm half gone on fatigue.
Yeah,
you're still living
in fatigue.
The sun just went down where you are.
Sun's down, and so it's dark as a heck out here. Sun's been down since 4.
Yeah, I know.
Probably
Winter
4:30, but still.
Yeah, winter time, right?
Anyways,
love it.
You gotta wrap this up and get some rest because you got a big day of sorting and working hard.
Yeah, I do. This new gig's pretty hilarious.
In front of the screen.
Yeah, the new gig's good. I'm digging it. You gotta be patient. Start climbing the ladder. But,
That's it.
Oh, excuse me. Yeah, FedEx Express. Who knew I'd ever make it there? But finally did.
In the big times, buddy.
Yeah, buddy. It's cool too. They give us like $175 allowance for uniforms. And I'm like, oh, that's not really that much money because like a pair of pants is like $50. I'm gonna blow through that easy. I get on the website, pair of pants. Guess how much a t-shirt is?
If so pants are $55, then I'm gonna say they're probably a $35 shirt.
No, the pants aren't. I thought like the pants I buy from Dickies are $55. So I'm thinking, oh, 55, they're gonna be about $50 They're not. So a t-shirt's $8, a long sleeve shirt's $9. Pants are $12.
Look at you buying $55 pants.
Shorts are like $11. Like, dude,
$15 Costco specials. These Costco jeans last me forever.
Yeah, but you don't use them for work, and I use Dickies, man. I just buy Dickies. 38, 32s, just buy Dickies.
Oh, no, dude.
And
I'm
they're
telling you,
fantastic.
I used these Costco jeans when I was a mechanic for years.
Bragger.
These pairs would last me forever. These things are solid, dude.
Yeah, like they do some good stuff at Costco. I was surprised because I got on the site. I'm like, oh, a pair of pants is like $12 because it's all internal. It's just a number. Like it's money, but they probably have a facility that builds their uniforms for the entire planet. So of course they're going to be $12. They literally have a warehouse full of 7 million pairs of pants. So it's neat when you're in a company that large and they give you an allowance for uniforms that looks like it's low. But then when you actually get on the online store and every position has access to a different store. I'm like, because I'm going to be because if I'm a courier, I have different options than like a guy who works at an airport. It's all uniforms, but I'm like, oh, that's cool. I'm like, t-shirts are like, yeah, of course they're not really $8, but for an employee they are, and I don't know where they're coming from, but it's kind of neat. Like, get online and buy this clothing. It's cheap. I'm like, no. Like I just like how I can do it myself. And not just have some catalog with like 3 items in it. Like they legit have a goddamn store on there where you can buy whatever you want. They sell everything. It's crazy. Some of the office girls at FedEx Ground even had like Santa Claus hats that were purple because of the company's purple in color. And they're branded. They got FedEx branding right in them. I'm like, where'd you get that? They're like, oh, you get them on the website. I'm like, no, you can't. It's because I'm a driver. I don't have access to that. The office people do.
Oh.
So it's kind of neat, right? They have different lanes for different positions.
You got to do a switcheroo.
Oh, like a huge company like that, there's literally like 8,000 different jobs. It's insane because
I'll trade you some pants
pilot
for a
mechanics. Hat. Exactly, yeah. And then you could just ask them to order you one. Like they would totally get you whatever you wanted to. But it's kind of neat. Like I've never really had that before. We have access to all that stuff. And, they have more options. They even have they have pants that are lined with fleece for the colder climates. Because I log into Canada and then it gives you all these gigantic parkas and stuff where if I logged in as Mexico, they don't need parkas in Mexico.
So you got a portable air conditioner and
and sandals.
It's a flip-flop too.
It's pretty neat. So it's exciting to be hired by a big company like that. So, like I said, I got to start at the bottom because I'm fresh. So, who knows? Next year, maybe they'll add the thermos to my store. Who knows? But, only time will tell.
Exotic.
Yeah, who knows? But, man, thanks for joining me this evening.
Thank you, bud.
Yeah, man. So, if the women don't find you handsome, they should at least find you handy. Oh, should we do this as Canadians? Oh, good day, guy. I can't do it anymore.
I lost it.
I lost the South
buddy.
Park the South Park Canadian voice. Oh, hey there, buddy. It's been a fantastic race today. Thank you for watching. If you were watching, thank you for watching. If you weren't, well, you weren't. So it doesn't matter. If the women don't find you handsome, they should at least find you handy. Keep your stick on the ice.
And don't sleep on those $15 Costco jeans, buddy. They may be $20, but they'll last you a long time. That's from the horse's lips.
Are you saying I gotta go to Costco and buy some of these jeans?
Dude, I fucking destroy these jeans. Like I shouldn't say that. In the